Hello, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I hope you like today's case coverage and you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Also, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up as it really does help my channel grow. Now, this video is going to be about the IdahoFour murders. We have been covering this case pretty extensively since it happened back in November. Dylan, one of the surviving roommates, the one who actually came into contact with the killer, has supposedly come forward with some new information in a YouTube video. This is someone in her inner circle, the boyfriend of one of her friends. Those are their words, not mine. So I want you to take this video that I show you with all the salt in the world, not a grain, the whole, all of it, all of the salt in the world. News outlets and other creators are running with this as if it's facts. So I want to get your opinions on the two videos that I'm getting ready to show you. Before I play the video, I want to play like the main video. I want to play a small clip that News Nation did. I don't know if they have their own source or if they're looking at the YouTube video that was posted about this. So let me get to that video for you guys here. This is actually going to be the one for Ashley Banfield. So I'm going to play Banfield first, and then we're going to go ahead and play the actual video that's come forward. And, you know, it says that they are within Dylan's inner circle. We'll play that next. So
let me tell you, it certainly does give a little bit more perspective as to why she didn't call 911 right away, perhaps. We're told that Dylan actually mistook the noises that she'd been hearing. Remember, the affidavit said that around 4 a.m., she could hear some noises up on the third floor, thought it was maybe, Kaylee playing with the dog, Murphy, didn't think a lot more than that. But ultimately, a few moments later, she heard a lot of noises. She opened her door and effectively kind of yelled out to her roommates, calm down, like cut it out, keep it down. You guys are being loud. I'm trying to sleep. It's late. Thinking that there were roommates horsing around, that perhaps all that noise that she was hearing was just them, being boisterous and still in party mode. It was late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. So she then closed her door and went back to bed, but within minutes, perhaps sort of roused again by noise, opens the door again, was going to say something again to the effect of, keep it down already. It's the middle of the night. And that's when she sees the figure coming towards her. Now, this has been a big bone of contention for a lot of people. Why, if you saw some shadowy, terrifying figure walking towards you, would you just close your door and go back to bed and not call the police? And the characterization to the source who spoke directly with her after the murders is that she didn't think that figure was anything other than just part of the horsing around, maybe one of the partiers, maybe somebody who was a friend of one of the other roommates that was making all the noise. But it, startled her nonetheless to see a man in the middle of the night, dark, walking towards her. Thank you for watching.
okay, so that's the first video. I just want you to keep that in your mind as I'm playing this supposedly new video. So this is the person's account, and I'll have it in the description. They are a YouTuber. They are new to the channel. They are new to the network or whatever. But this video is about 12 minutes long, and to me, he sounds sedated. He also doesn't sound like someone in their 20s. Remember, these girls were young, and they didn't seem like the type to date an older male. I'm going to play it and pause it as needed. Probably not at every lie, or seriously, we'd be here all night. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys really think this guy's real. They put this on their channel 4 weeks ago. It's the only video that they have. To me, it's fake. But let me know what you guys think.
Okay, so before we dive into what I'm referring to about the feds screwing or attempting to screw Dylan.
Just want to make this clear too. I do not have this slowed down at all. He really talks this slow. So we may need to speed it up.
And give you a brief background as to who I am. So my girlfriend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean inner circle. Like they've hung out almost every day since the incident.
If you hung out with someone every day since the incident, that would make them a little bit more than their inner circle. That would make them best friends or really good friends at the least. If you're spending every day with somebody,
occurred, and I've seen her a plethora of times as well. So you're gonna notice I'm not gonna use words like allegedly, supposedly, because all of this is actual first-hand factual information.
oh, and I also forgot to tell you guys this. I want to read this down here for you guys. It says, the facts in this video has received prior permission from Dylan Mortensen to be shared with the masses. That means that he got this information is straight from Dylan. There's plenty of other details and information she has allowed me to release, but this was the most important fact that she wanted to clear up first. There's 4 shocking details she has been specifically instructed by the prosecutor that she cannot release. Hopefully this clears a lot of speculation going around YouTube, etc. So let's just see.
Where should I start to clear things up? First of all, there's a lot of misconception about Dylan suffering from PTSD or trauma or any of that. None of that is accurate. In fact, when we try to console Dylan after the incident, she's the one that was laughing at me and my girlfriend and I, talking about we're so weird.
He said that she was laughing after the incident. I'm pretty sure that Dylan would not allow somebody to say that about her. Because remember, this is specifically things that Dylan said that he could tell. So I'm pretty sure that before this video had been posted, Dylan would have wanted to look at this and watch this video before it was posted to the internet for everybody to see. And I doubt she would want to be looked at in the light of as she was laughing. And I doubt that she was laughing.
We tried to give her a hug and stuff. So she's still the same old Dylan. She's had a rough life growing up. She's been through a lot. She doesn't have PTSD and didn't suffer any trauma.
She didn't suffer any trauma?
The incident that night, and what I'm referring to, the feds actually put a lot of words into her mouth that she didn't say herself first. So there was a lot of leading statements that they were insinuating to her, and she was really scared the first few days, obviously, after the incident occurred. So like the reason none of it makes sense in the affidavit is because it didn't really happen that way. So she never stood there shocked when she saw the individual. She was just standing in her doorway, like, you know, like anybody who opens the door. It was just, you know, she opened the door and yelled at Ethan and Xana, and who she thought was their friend. She yelled at them to be quiet. That's what was going on with that situation. And she just went back into her room. She locked the door like usual. And, you know, went to sleep. Everything was quiet after she yelled at them. So she didn't think anything of it. For everyone who's creating these random stories about her being shocked or traumatized, she didn't realize anything was going on. And it might sound crazy, it might sound dumb, but she really had no clue anything was going on. They were being a little loud, so she yelled at them to be quiet. And that's it. She locked her door and she just went back to her room. You know, and she didn't want to be nosy or anything. So, you know, she was kind of new to that house, so she didn't want to be nosy.
He says that she was new to the house, but wasn't Dylan one of the first people to move in? I think Maddie was last to go and Kaylee before her. But let me know in the comment section below. I've been trying to look that up to see when they moved in, and I can't find where Dylan moved in at.
And, get all up in their business, especially at, in the middle of the night or early morning. So it's as simple as that. Everyone trying to blow that whole situation into something that's not. So yeah, that's that. And she didn't actually get a real good look at Brian. At the time, she assumed it was one of Xana and Ethan's friend who was just getting ready to leave, who was walking out. She didn't get that good of a look. The feds were really aggressive with Dylan the first few days, which is why she hired the attorney to begin with, because of the treatment of her during the interview, more like an interrogation, to be honest. So that's why she got an attorney, because the way they were talking to her, and they didn't really understand or believe why she's the only one alive when you kind of skip rooms to get to the other two rooms. So she didn't really like the feel of how the interrogators or the feds were talking to her.
I wasn't aware that she had a lawyer either. You guys may be like, wow, Tanya knows nothing about this case, but I know everything about this case for the most part. But yeah, no, that's just really strange to me. I didn't know that she had a lawyer. I know that Gonzalez family, they have a lawyer, but that's the only family that I know of other than Brian Kohlberger that has a lawyer.
And within like a few days after the incident, they approached her with pictures of Brian. It's like, is this the guy? Do you think this is the guy? This is definitely him, right? And they were almost leading her to believe this has to be the person.
That's not how cops, I mean, they may have done it that way. I mean, but if they're doing their job right, they do a photo lineup. Another officer will take the photo lineup into the person to look at that is not even affiliated with the case. That way they don't have any, they can't give like a side eye, or, they have no idea who is in the lineup when they bring it in or who they're looking for, who the person is supposed to pick out. So for him to say that the feds were yelling at her, it sounds like a bad Law and Order video to me.
And she wasn't really sure, but they kind of put those words in her mouth. It's almost like, they were insinuating it so much to where she was like, yeah, I think, yeah, no, it's definitely him. And that's when they just kind of like ran with it. So what you see in the affidavit is, it didn't play out that way. So Dylan's attorney and her, and actually all of us, are pretty upset at how they threw her under the bus in the affidavit.
Why is he upset? He is the boyfriend of an inner girlfriend. He is literally the brother, sister's, cousin's, grandpa's uncle behind.
David, when's the last time you've seen a witness or like a snitch in a case, their actual names being mentioned? The fact that they didn't redact it.
Well, that would be kind of stupid to redact a name that everybody knows is already out there. Her name was out there before Brian Kohlberger was even arrested. Before we even knew she was a witness, her name was out there.
Think that the feds and prosecutors threw her name in there purposely to apply more pressure, because Dylan was really wishy-washy during the interrogation, and with them, putting these words, set in stone on paper, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on her now, because everyone views her as like some star witness, the star of the case. So That's what
I haven't heard one person refer to Dylan as the star of this case. I've never even really had anybody think that she's even a prime direct piece of evidence for this case. The DNA on that knife sheath, now that's direct evidence.
we all believe that she kind of is getting screwed over by, the feds and the prosecutor, because now she has to testify and she has to say kind of what words they put in her mouth instead of what she actually believed, and what she actually knows happened, like with her own words, not words that were like shoved in her mouth. So, yeah, her attorney's pretty upset. She's pretty upset. But at the same time, she knows that, she can be a huge help in this case. So it's not like she's identifying somebody she didn't see. It just didn't play out necessarily like, oh, bushy eyebrows. She saw bushy eyebrows, and was able to 100% identify him. It's just initially when, detectives and feds came in and took over the scene had been contaminated so badly by a the local authorities. When they first came, first responders, they stomped all over the place, contaminated the scene. All the, you know, other people that were at the house, they were, walking up and down the steps, to make sure what they're seeing is what they're really seeing. So, I mean, this is a scene that was really.
I'm pretty sure whoever was at that scene that day, if there were other people at the scene that day, if they for 1 second saw a dead body, like the gruesome scenes that we know happened in that house, they for sure didn't go back and take a second look.
Really badly contaminated. So to equal the playing field, the feds feel like, having a star witness is critical here. But just the way she was being interrogated initially was, it's kind of crazy. It's not what you guys think. They weren't being all sensitive and gentle to her. They were really accusatory and kind of, pressured, put the press on her. Thought that she might have something to do with it because it just didn't make sense to them why she's the only one alive. And on top of that, didn't see anything or really hear anything. She didn't want to be nosy, didn't want to, get up in her roommate's business. She told him to be quiet. I mean, the last thing that crossed her mind was people are getting slaughtered next door and upstairs. So, I think that's pretty much everything I've covered. So, yeah, just to go over the whole, suffering trauma, she was shocked that she saw him walk past her. Like, it's not as dramatic as you guys think. Like, he was already halfway towards the kitchen walking out. And for all of y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. And you have to think about it. Why would a survivor, a victim, have to hire an attorney? Obviously, they were mistreating her pretty badly as they're interrogating her, and especially now throwing her name in the affidavit like that. That's all because they're pretty upset she hired an attorney to begin with. And because they want to put a lot of pressure on her from the public for her to be the star witness. But aside from that, she's doing good. She's the same old Dylan. Yeah, no, there's no trauma, PTSD, anything. She really feels for, her friends who are deceased. And, she does beat herself up a little bit about, not being more involved in the situation that night. But, realistically, I mean, something like that, it's not going to cross your mind. that something like that's taking place in your house. You know, so yes, she does feel for the family, and you know, she's really saddened by the whole situation. But as far as her as an individual, she's still the same person. She's not like a traumatized individual, you know. So yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything, and let's see. Yeah, no, that's everything. Hopefully this video doesn't come off sounding crazy, and clears up a lot of the questions everybody has. All right.
Okay, so that's the end of the video there. What do you guys think? I also have been looking online and I cannot find an attorney anywhere for Dylan Mortensen. So if you guys do have knowledge of that, let me know, please, in the comment section below, because that would right there discount everything he said. But he did say there's 4 shocking details. But so I don't know I didn't hear any 4 shocking details. So let me know what you guys all think about this in the comment section below. I think it's a load of bullcrap myself. I think that's just somebody else coming forward trying to get a little bit of clout. Maybe that's Kim's husband. Because, you know, Kim came out on a few channels. What was it? Truth and Transparency, the Drunk Turkey show, and Chronicles of Olivia. They all had her there on their channels, and she was spewing some bullcrap. So maybe this is Kim's husband. Maybe, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.